Hey everybody. It's a new day. It's a new match on Arena. And this is part of the series we have going on Devilish Valet. Thanks for all the new subscribers lately. There's been a lot of you coming out, signing up. Let me say, this is Travis from Tpull's Corner, and remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we've done 3 different decks already on Devilish Valet. One was a historical deck, then we did 2 in standard. Both were red and white decks. Let's just destroy that artifact now before he uses it for card draw, shall we? And that's enough. So the red and white decks were a little bit different, each one of them. Did he miss a land drop? I'm not going to do anything because that could be a counter spell. I want to see you actually use your mana. Alright, let's try Glittermonger. It's my least favorite card in the set. So the red and white decks, they're 2 different red and white decks because one was centered around giving a lot of creatures for the Valet to pop off, and the second one was based on putting a lot of counters, +1/+1 counters on the Valet to sort of increase him before we added on creatures to double his power. This one is more of the traditional construction in the sense that you see these are all Streets of New Capenna cards. That's mostly what we have. We do want some treasures, so double block. Let's take out the Circuit Mender. Sorry, let's take out the cat guys too. You're still tapped out. That's nice. 1, 2, 3. Why attack for 3 when we can attack for 6? Alright, you've got a full hand of cards. I am empty. So what can you do? They know what Valet can do. Alright, how do we want to do this? I think we want to do it this way. Sacrifice a treasure. Bring in a creature token. Sacrifice a treasure. Bring in a creature token. Oh, that's all we need to do, because we're going to tap him now. Target you. Resolve. Auto pay. Get rid of the automaton. Crew this for 3. A 1 and a 2 and a 3. And then we attack with everybody except the Glittermonger. He's going to take it. This is what happens when you turn my Devilish Valet into a legitimate business person. We will utterly destroy you. This was supposed to be my win condition, and look at what you've done to him. You've gone and made a Devil Warrior legitimate? How dare you, sir? No attacks. We create a treasure. Oh, this is lovely. Nice. We'll just attack then. Ta-da! Alright, let's go ahead and show you the whole deck. And we used Devilish Valet as the clincher to still make sure we got the final bit of damage in. We could have tried to just tap the one creature and do damage straight to the face, but I have more fun attacking their creatures and clearing the path. They would have played the Hexproof anyway, but we still had lethal. Okay, so the Devilish Valet, 1/3 Devil Warrior with Trample and Haste. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you double his power until end of turn. We pair that with 4 copies of Stimulus Package. Enters the battlefield, create 2 treasure tokens. Then, without spending any mana, you can sacrifice any treasure anytime and create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. So we need 5 treasures basically, because we sacrifice 1 treasure, get a token, and immediately double his power from 1 to 2. So if we do that 5 times, we go from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 to 32. As long as they don't block with somebody whose toughness is greater than, 12, and they're at 20, then we win. To help us out, we have, for the 1-drops, 4 Gold Hounds. We can sacrifice them at 1 mana of any color. Plus, if we can get a couple of hits in with Menace so that they don't have 2 blockers, or if they, we've got First Strike, so we can take out 1/1s that chump block us a little bit. Anyway, we might have a chance to ramp up too. One copy of Sticky Fingers, enchant a creature. Whenever it deals combat damage, we create a creature token. Notice these are both Streets of New Capenna cards. Most of what we have are Streets of New Capenna expansion cards. And they're geared around creating treasure tokens, which is part of why they're included in the deck. One copy of Gala Greeters. They have 3 choices, only one of which is creating a treasure token. If we get Stimulus Package out, and we do happen to sacrifice a lot of treasure tokens, we can activate all 3 of these in a single turn. And so we could even activate this on our opponent's turn. So we can give him +1/+1, gain 2 life, and create a trapped treasure token. Prize Fight is included. It's a Streets of New Capenna card. Our creature fights their creature for removal. This might not be the wisest removal card to put in, but it allows us to create a treasure token, so it stays. Return to Nature. I want to be able to exile a target card from their graveyard or get rid of an artifact or enchantment. The Valet himself. 2 copies of Fable of Mirror Breaker. That's a Kamigawa card, but we can use the Red Goblin Shaman from Chapter 1. Whenever it attacks, you create a treasure token. So that could be more powerful than Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. However, when we get the enchantment creature out of Chapter 3, the next turn we just tap it, create a token creature of any other target non-legendary, which means we can create a token of Devilish Valet. The original Valet will automatically double in power. And then if we got Stimulus Package out, it's pretty much game over. Professional Facebreaker has Menace already, so it's like walking Sticky Fingers. Whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you create a treasure token, or we can exile the top card of our library when we sacrifice a treasure. We have Pyre Sledge Arsonist, 2/2 Shaman. Here you just saw us use him, right? It can deal X damage to any target where X is the number of permanents you sacrifice this turn. So it works well with Stimulus Package and the Valet. If we have these out and they still manage to kill the Valet, say they block it with a creature with first strike or give it first strike, we could still, tap the Arsonist and deal 5 points of damage to their face. Or maybe, if we realize that we're going up against a creature with first strike, which is Devilish Valet's weakness, we could tap this ahead of time and kill that creature. So it's a little bit of protection, a little bit of complementary there. Witty Roastmaster, also when another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Witty Roastmaster deals 1 damage to each opponent. So again, that's another way. If package is out and we sacrifice treasures, that counts because we are getting these green and white citizen creature tokens. And those guys right there. And so that'll deal damage as well. Broken Wings, 1 copy in case we have to get rid of a flyer. 3 Jeweled Thief. A Jewel Thief is awesome because you get a 3/3 Trampler with Vigilance. That's good enough, right? But also gives us a treasure token. Atsushi, the Blazing Sky. This is Kamigawa, not Streets of New Capenna, but if it dies, we can create 3 treasure tokens, which could give us the winning, if we get the combo out, could just be exactly what we need. So in many cases, we want Atsushi to die. If the treasures aren't the best thing at the time, we can exile the top 2 cards of our library, although that's kind of a crapshoot if you don't know what's coming. Capenna Express is a 6/6 artifact vehicle. You sacrifice a treasure instead of crewing for 3. If you don't have enough creatures out, we just sack a treasure and you get a 6/6 creature. Sometimes your opponent forgets this card is even on the battlefield, and they can be surprised. They'll just attack and they'll lose to a 6/6 creature. It's fun. Glittermonger, a 1/4 Streets of New Capenna card. You tap it to create a treasure token. We did put it out in the last match. Out of all the cards, this is the one that I'm not sure should be in here. For 4 mana, getting a 1/4 chump blocker is not necessarily the greatest thing in the world. So I'm not sure, really. I'm not sold on the value of it, but, I'm trying it out because I don't use it other places. And then we have Ognis, the Dragon's Lash, with haste. Whenever a creature you control with haste attacks, you create a tapped treasure token. So we have a neat thing we can do if we don't have enough, if we sacrifice all of our treasures and it's not enough, but we have Ognis out and we attack with Devilish Valet, he has haste, and we can create another tapped treasure token, which we can then sacrifice and pump him up as much as we need him to. So that's kind of fun. 2 board wipes. We don't need to burn down the house sometimes. If we have the Valet out, we can just create the 3 red devil creature tokens, and that'll double up Valet's power 3 times right there. And finally, a card most people don't use, Bootlegger's Stash, also New Capenna. It's a mythic rare. Artifact, lands you control have tapped to create a treasure token. So if we have a spare round where this is already out, then we can just create all the treasure tokens we need, and whenever this combo is ready, we'll be good to go. I tried to start with 4 copies of Bootlegger Stash, and it gives it to us way too often. And so maybe there'll be a good deck configuration that calls for 4 copies of it. But even having 2, if you have this out on the field already, you really can't afford at that stage in the mid-game to get the artifact again, right? It's just a dead card at that point. You can't tap the same land twice in this deck. So really, 1 card. 1 copy. That's the idea. That's the theme. This is the more commonly used version of the Devil's Valet, of the Devilish Valet. The other stuff that I've been doing isn't used as often. But when Streets of New Capenna came out, people saw that stimulus package. They saw the combo. This combo's been used. Every now and then you come across somebody who doesn't know it, but we're doing the series, right? This is the 4th entry in the series on Devilish Valet. I would be neglectful if I did not showcase this at some point. Blue's already got somebody. Blue's already got a couple of somebodies. It doesn't do us any good to put down a 1/3 land traveler against a couple flyers. Nice. Alright, we can't really afford to wait. We gotta try and burn down the house. Hopefully they don't have a counterspell. And I disagree with that card. But it sort of allows all the other creatures that die to go into the battlefield to be selected before it does. It's really not fair. By all means, keep putting stuff out, please. Alright. We only have 2 board wipes, so... we can't keep doing this. People are gonna talk. A Planeswalker usually kills us.
I'm finished running from battles I might not win. Knowledge is meant to be shared.
He's got 3 other cards, plus he can draw. He knows enough to remove that guy, doesn't he?
Another mystery solved.
Oh, hello. That's the game. Yeah, see, this is the problem. I have 2 board wipes and it did me no good. We have when Gurgling Anointer dies, return another target creature card with mana value less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And when Gixing Puppeteer dies, return another target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. But when we killed these guys, there was nothing in the graveyard. So it got to go through, take everybody that we threw in the graveyard at the exact same time, and got to selectively choose to put those out, even though there was nothing in the graveyard when those 2 cards died. So I don't like the way the rules work on those 2 cards, but I don't think that Wizards of the Coast is going to change them anytime soon. We would have somehow needed another 2 turns, one to put out the artifact and another to give me all the treasures that I needed to activate the valet. We were not getting that time. And only 1 copy, notice. It's the most expensive card, and we already got it. So it's going to eat up a hole in our hand for a while. Thank you, Magic the Gathering. Oh, White Wolf deck. We definitely want to get rid of the Stormseeker out of the 2 of those. Yeah, I guess we'll do this. We're sort of just putting up chump blockers for the moment. And they certainly don't mind trading. Here's a free hit. Let's see if they choose just to create a wolf and flip it to night, or if they're going to cast a spell. They'll cast a spell, okay? They'll cast 2 spells. Sweet! I wanted land, but I'll take this. We can't really afford to wait. Give me Arlen. Great.
Feel your hair standing on end? Our hunt. Gather, my children.
And deliberate. Okay. They've emptied their hand, but they've got a lot of stuff, don't they?
Patience, my kin.
No blocks. Come on through. They're going to lose their Planeswalker.
Retreat into the night.
Okay. think we need some more life. What do you think? And another token. And we'll pump up the Galligrators. That seems fair. Gross. Down to 2 life points. All right. Alright, we need Jewel Thief to survive, so we go there, we kill these two there, and they're going to pump up the Snarling Wolf, which is why we need to keep the Jewel Thief around. If only we had some treasures. Unfortunately, we had to use all of our treasures to survive. Yeah, that might help. Alright, you've got Vigilance, so we definitely are able to attack with you. If they remove one creature, we still have the Gold Hound to chump block the Snarling Wolf. And they think they've still got time. I don't think they do. But they're flooding out with land, and that really means they don't have time. We're starting to flood out with land too. We don't care, because we're just hitting them for 3. And we did what we did with resources we had, as long as we did, long enough that we survived. Paxong Pup makes things a little bit harder because when he dies, they gain life, so it redoes our math. So the question is, let's see, 2, 4, 8, 16. Okay. Create the devils! They don't have first strike. That's lethal. And they know it. And this is why you don't quit when you're down to 2 life. You could have prevented maybe 5 of those points of damage or something like that. Alright, we'll do one more. We can't be too happy about that. They flooded out that last time with a couple of lands. If they'd gotten more useful cards, could have been a completely different story. Alright, bootlegger slash again up front. Am I glad I didn't put 4 cards in the deck? Oh, how are we going to do against the Oni Cult Anvil deck? This should be fun. They do have some instant removals. They certainly have enough chump blockers. But it does usually make for, it can make for a quick game sometimes, but it usually makes for a longer drawn out game. So I tend to think that we have the advantage on longer drawn out games. I'm assuming that this is Oni Cult Anvil. But maybe it's something different. Let us find out. That's right, 2 copies of them. That could be troublesome. That could be a troublesome card. Never mind. This could not have worked out better. This is ideal. 5 lands, 5 treasures. Drawing Devilish Valet at exactly the right time. And this is going to be lethal. And they don't wait for it. They rarely do. It just doesn't get any better than that, folks. So we'll take you in, we'll show you the deck one more time. You can beat hasty artifact decks, can even beat the pre-made werewolf deck. Center of the stage, Nuka Penna combo. I called it the Devil's Stimulus after Stimulus Package. It sounds dirty, but it's not. It's just Magic the Gathering. But I didn't want to call it the Devil's Package because that sounded worse to me. You know, opinions may vary. Still not sold on Glittermonger, but, you know, we win more than we lose, so I'll keep it in there. Only one copy of Bootlegger's Stash. Let me know if there's a good deck that can have more than one copy of that card in the deck. And Sticky Fingers never really came up, but most of the others did at least make an appearance. So I'm happy with my version of the deck. Let me know if you do something different. And as I said, drop a comment if you want to see a series on a different type of card that we focus on. I'll try and think about other stuff that we can also do with Devilish Valet and continue that series. So this is Travis signing off from Tpull's Corner. Thanks, guys. Remember to like and subscribe. Have a good one.